Hi, I'm Stuart toolsfromjapan.com, and today I'm going to show you how I replace the diamond sheet on these Atoma diamond plates. Now these diamond plates consist of a thick aluminium backing plate with a very thin steel sheet with a diamond surface applied on the top. Now these two are held together with double-sided tape, and you can see here on a replacement sheet that on the back there it's got 3 strips of very thin double-sided tape. This is actually Nitto number 5015 tape, and it's only 0.12 millimeters thick. It's pressure sensitive, so the harder you push on it, the stronger it grabs, and it really does grab very, very well. It's very strong stuff. So you can't simply pull the sheet off. You need to actually cut the tape and remove it before you can put down a new sheet. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this is I've been asked recently by a lot of people, how do you do it? And I actually had to learn myself. I had to cut this sheet off my own plate, stick it back down, then cut it off again, stick it back down, and this final time I'll get it on video and you can all see how it works. So let's get started. What you'll need is one of these craft knives. This has a breakable blade in it, so as it gets blunt you can break off each part. This is actually a small version. I recommend this size. Now these are originally made by Olfa. This is actually a Tajima brand, but it doesn't matter what brand it is as long as it's reasonable quality and the blade is of reasonable quality so it doesn't break. You also need a screwdriver. And this is just to remove the plate. No other tasks, just a small knife and a flat blade screwdriver like that. So let's get started. And the first thing you need to consider is this is really quite sharp. If it slips, it'll cut you very, very badly, right through to the bone, guaranteed. So whenever you're cutting with it, no matter what you do, always think that if the blade breaks, because it's designed to break, if the blade breaks, the knife flicks away, is it flicking into air or is it going to flick into me? So when you use it, nice solid surface here, and what I might do is put down a little rubber sheet on this just so it doesn't slip around. So give me a moment, I'll go and find one of those and put it down. Okay, I'm back. I've got one of these rubber sheets here, and to start, put it that way, I'll just score here, just scoring it. And you want to take care not to damage the aluminium too much if you can. Try and keep the cut as balanced as you can in the groove there. And then the action is this, just gently rocking the edge. Very, very gently. There's very little pressure on this. So it's just gently rocking. I'll move that to the side so you can see it a little bit better. It's just rocking like this. And using this rocking motion you go around this side, the end, this side, and then work the blade in deeper and deeper and deeper. So I'll keep working on this, and I might make the video go a little bit quicker so it doesn't take too much time for you to watch it, but you'll still see what's happening. So here we go. Okay, you can see here the blade is completely buried underneath there. So I'll try and get it in a clear spot. There you go. You can see the blade is completely buried underneath the steel plate. At this point what you need to do is get your screwdriver and just lever it out. Now a little bit of spreading pressure makes this go a whole lot easier, as I hope you'll see now. Okay, we're a bit further along here and we're just starting to breaking the tape. You can just hear it. I don't know if you can hear this. If I push the screwdriver in, you can hear the tape starting to release. So we'll just keep working that knife through, and I think that's one end freed up. Back out again. So we've got one end completely free of the backing plate there. And the procedure from now on is just work your way along. Take off the middle part, take off the end part, and we'll keep going with that. What you need to take care of is not to damage in between these two. I mean, this steel diamond plate, if it's worn out, then you don't need to worry about it too much, and you just rip it off, it doesn't really matter. But the backing plate, you want to try and keep that as damage free as possible, because your new plate will go on there, and if there's any damage you might get a little bump, the tape might not stick as well, and it'll just cause problems. So you have to be very, very careful not to damage the aluminium backing, because it is aluminium and it is quite soft. So we'll keep going and get this completely removed. Okay, we've got the middle part off now, just for the final end. Screw it in there a bit more, get a bit more tension on there. There we go. Now the elapsed time of this is 8 minutes, including my explaining it on video and all the bits and pieces, so it really doesn't take that long. So what I need to do now is clean off this backing plate here of the tape, and it actually comes off fairly easily. There's a milling pattern on this aluminium where the mill has gone by and put a lot of half circles on it. So this tape actually comes off fairly easily. And all you need to do is get it all off, clean it all off. However you can. If you use chemicals, that's okay. If you just gently scrape it off. What you should avoid is using anything steel or anything metal to get this tape off, because any scratches in this may telegraph through the steel diamond plate here, and you may get lumps and bumps and things like that, which isn't good for a flat plate. So let me clean this off, and I'll show you how I stick down the replacement plate. Okay, everything's cleaned up, and as you can see on this one, there's a little bit of staining on there from corrosion. That doesn't actually affect anything, it's just a stain. The milled surface is still flat, there's no corrosion or anything like that, it's just a stain, so it's nothing to worry about. And because this is my original 400 diamond plate, I'm just going to put it back on. I've used an off-the-shelf roll of Nitto number 515 tape, and as you can see, it's not very wide. So I've used 2 strips to try and make up the same width as the original tape is there. So what you need to do now is put this back on here. Now this can be a little bit tricky. You only get one shot at it. You can't put it down and pull it back up again, because if you do that, you'll damage the tape, and if you damage the tape, you'll not get it flat. So what you need to do is orient this crosswise from your body, and you need to put something on one side that's square and flat and fairly smooth to help you align this way. So a Waterstone does just nicely. I'll just move that so you can see it there, and it's just pushed up against the side there, and nice and square, nice and flat, nice and straight. And what we need to do is you'll pull the backing tape off, put it on, and allow the stone to align this side of the sheet with the backing plate, and use your fingertips just to try and balance it in the middle. So you'll feel the the sheet and the backing plate are almost exactly the same size. So you might just feel just a little bit of a lump or a bump just on the ends there, just slightly different lengths. But they're virtually identical in length, so there should be very, very small gap. Not like this where there's a big catch on the end and a big exposed part of aluminium here. That's no good. You really need to get it lined up like that. So just a stone. If you're using one of these Atoma plates, I almost guarantee you've got a stone somewhere of some kind to be able to use this with. And this is just a stone I had, the first one I could pick up. First one I could grab. It's actually a prototype Sigma Power stone, so I'll turn it over so you can't see anything. So, next thing we need to do, pull the backing tape off. And you'll see here how thin this tape is. You can virtually see through it. Very, very, very thin stuff. And very, very, very strong. So if you keep that in mind, it's very thin, very strong. If you damage it, you're in trouble, and you only get one shot. So keep that in mind. This is a fairly sensitive operation. But you don't really need any practice to do it. It's not that difficult. You just have to be careful. So there's the backing stuff there, all off. Just throw that away. Now, make sure we're lined up, pushed against the stone there. And I'm just holding it just above the surface of the aluminium. And slowly, 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 letting it go down. And you'll get just a tiny bit of movement before it all sticks down, and we're done. And that's it. And I've got a nice good fit between the two here, and that's now ready to use again. So we'll also need to check it for flatness. Let me go get a straight edge and something to check it with, and I'll be right back. Okay, to check this for flatness, we've got our straight edge and a small piece of 0.04mm feeler tape, which is approximately 1/1000th of an inch. So we'll put our straight edge on, corner to corner, and this is how you can check for flat for anything like a stone or a plain sole or anything you need to check for flat. Just straight edge, get the feeler tape and try and push it through, and as you can probably see, it's not going through at all. Check the other corners, push it in, and it's not going in at any point. Move that out of the way, check it for length. And again, it's not going in. Across the width. 1, 2, 3. So this is now, well, if I'd used a new plate, it would now be restored to as new condition. Still dead flat, still ready to work, and that's all there is to it. So it's not a terribly difficult job, but it is a little bit fiddly and it's very messy. Trying to remove that tape is very, very difficult. So whatever means you can use without damaging the aluminium is great. If it's a solvent, if you use hot soapy water, if you sit there with a fingernail and scratch away at it for an hour or more, that's the most time-consuming task, is getting that tape off the aluminium backing. So good luck with your replacement, and if you run into any trouble or if you need some replacement tape, give me an email at store@toolsfromjapan.com and I'll do all I can to help you out. Thanks for watching and good luck.